What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim back with another video, and today we're unboxing this bad boy right here. This is the Sonic Mania Collector's Edition. I picked it up for the Nintendo Switch. I'm really excited to dive into it after some of the really good reviews I've been seeing online. You know, retro is back. I mention that because I think you're going to see that this game and the collector edition itself has a lot of retro elements to it. And in traditional unboxing fashion, without Rachel here, I'm going to make a mess. But I quickly realized that this is actually a box in a box. I'll tell you why I like this. This outside sleeve here, which actually did do a pretty good job of surviving transport, usually gets beat to hell by any of the delivery people. Now, I did pick this up at Best Buy. Usually they kind of handpick some of the better ones without any dings or whatever on it. But that is important for a collector because the inside of the box is pristine because it hasn't been damaged. Now, why did I mention that retro was so important? Well, it's because it is. It's not going anywhere. And it's really interesting to me to see just how much retro gaming has taken a hold with the Super Nintendo and the NES Classic. And there it is inside, the retro Sonic Mania statue on top of the Sega Genesis. So I'm going to set this down for a brief second. So you're going to have to look at my balding head as I dip through all of this. I have to say this is actually a very, very, very neat piece. Now, this is the original Genesis replica. Obviously, it is not the real Genesis. But you see it has a volume setting, off, on, reset, and Sonic is sitting on top, giving everybody a fist bump. Now, that is actually really, really cool. I think they did a good job of that. I like the fact that he's standing on top of the Genesis. You know, a lot of times I beat up collector editions because I feel the bases suck. And this is actually something where I feel like the base doesn't suck. Now, I do see a screw on the bottom, so I am assuming I'm going to need a screwdriver. Of course, I don't have one of those, so we'll probably have to do a jump cut in a second to kind of see what this thing does. But let's see what else is in the box. Now, I already pulled out the digital code. That's something that's interesting for this particular game. There is no physical code, or physical game, rather. It is just the digital code, which I'm not a big fan of as a collector. I like to have something in my hands that I can hold, you know. It also comes with a Sonic Mania game. So this is the original, like, cartridge that you would have got had you gotten a Genesis. I noticed the bottom piece pulls out a little bit. And inside, actually, is a hidden compartment for a gold ring. Yes, Chloe, we are unboxing a video right now. We're doing it together. Now, the gold ring, obviously, a very iconic piece of Sega lore. These are the rings that you want to collect, but it is kind of neat. You can put it inside here and then hide it so nobody could steal it. It also comes with a aluminum card that says Sonic Mania on one side, and it's got a picture of Tails and Knuckles on the back. I'm not really sure what the significance of the aluminum card is. Now, I'm going to go ahead and look at the box just to see exactly what this all comes with, because I got to be honest with you, I'm not sure what I'm really looking at here. It says, Sonic, 2D Sonic is back. Gorgeous pixel graphics, 60 frames a second gameplay, welcome to the next level, brand new Sonic adventure. This pack, that's what I wanted to look for, contains the collector's box. It contains the 12-inch statue with Sega startup audio, a metallic collector's card, a Sega cartridge cast with golden ring, and a digital game download code. 2 AA batteries are required, but are not included. Wah, wah. Let me go do some jump cut magic, and I will be right back. And we are back. I've put 2 AA batteries into this thing, and I was looking at it a little bit further as I was kind of putting it all together. So the power button is completely for show. The controller ports on the front are nothing more than just kind of painted on. They're not actual ports. Not that I expected them to be, but it's just kind of like maybe light peripherals where it is. The on-off button actually toggles the sound, which you'll hear in a second. The reset button is for show, and the volume button on the front, the slider, does nothing. But when you slide it up and down, you can really get a sense of how hollow it actually is, and that's kind of frustrating. But here it is. Here's the speaker, and when you turn it on, this is what you get. Turn it off. Turn it on. Cute, gimmicky. No lights at all when you turn on the power button. There is a headphone jack in the front, which is just a painted on circle. Really no frills when it comes to what what this actually comes with. Just really as simple as that. Obviously, it's a neat idea. I still maintain that. I like the idea that there's a base to it, but it's not one of those things that you're going to really pick up and play with. Not that you would really pick up and play with a collector statue anyway. So I have to give them a nod that they actually thought outside the box and actually put Sonic on the console that made him so famous. Sonic himself, obviously the highlight of the piece, enough of the base, actually looks really, really good. He's made of this kind of shiny plastic material. They did a good job of like the detailing on him. There's no like weird paint lines, or I've seen that on other collector editions where the way they mold, the way the plastics come together, it's not very good. But I would say how this is actually assembled, where you can kind of see where like where his shoes would be, or the void under his glove, where like, let me see if I can get you his glove. You could see the black into like where his glove would be in his hand. That's all put together really well, and it gives me the impression they actually slid him together, like his hand is somehow resting on his arm and they like glued it that way, which tells me that they're able to paint it or put it together separately, so you don't get any weird overspray. So it actually looks really, really good, and it's really sharp, and it does stand out. I mean, he definitely does stand out over the black console. And if you have two AA batteries, you can listen to that all day long. I doubt you will, but no frills collector edition in terms of just a very basic statue. You get the original cartridge, which would have been neat if you could put it, you know, maybe I'll actually display it like this or something. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that yet. You actually have the cartridge with the gold ring inside the hidden compartment, which is a neat little collectible. So if you want to, you know, have a plastic ring of gold to show off to your friends. And then this kind of weird collector's card, which I'm not really entirely sure what I would do with. It's kind of hard to display. I guess I would probably just lean it up maybe against him. I don't know. I got to kind of figure out the best way to display this. And then obviously the game code. So it's going to get some points dinged off because I feel like they could have done a little bit better detail on the base. It's going to get some points dinged off because I'm a collector and I don't want a code. I want the game. I want a physical copy of the game that I can put on my bookshelf behind me here with all my other Nintendo Switch games. I like the case. I like to have them and display them. Good thing I bought that 256 gig chip, because Sega Sonic Mania is going to reside in my digital library for all time. So there you have it, a final score. I'm going to give this out of 10, 10 being perfect, 1 being the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm going to give this a solid 7. It wasn't a bad price. It comes with the game, a nice little statue, little tchotchkes that go with it. I'm glad they didn't throw in a stupid poster, and the box in the box is actually a very important thing for a guy who displays all his boxes. That matters. So there you have it, Sonic Mania. I'm going to dive into it, and you'll get a full review from me in the near future. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there, collect those gold rings, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.